Hello, 7th grade Bobcats. Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to another week at the Helena Middle School. On today's B.O.B Lesson, going to be talking about and kind of broaching the subject of our first topic Tuesday, which, by the way, is tomorrow, Tuesday, December 17th. If you're watching this on Monday, in Advisor. If at the conclusion of this B.O.B Lesson you're wanting to know more about evolving friendships, myself, Miss Campbell, Miss Glukert putting together a presentation in Miss Curtis's room. You will need to come by the counseling area, sign up ahead of time, grab a ticket. You won't be able to get in without that ticket. But anyways, on today's B.O.B Lesson, which is titled Friendships Are Like Trees, I kind of go through the process of how when you get to be 12, 13 years old, as you're starting to answer that developmental question, who am I? When your likes, your values, your interests, your disinterests, your personality, all that stuff starts to evolve and come together a little bit and change, so do your friendships. I know a common thing in 7th grade is trying to figure out who's in your tribe, who's in your circle, and that is constantly changing, which causes students a lot of distress, I feel like. It's really anxiety provoking for a lot of kids, and the one thing I hope you take away from this B.O.B lesson is that it's normal. It's a normal part of the process, and anything in life that goes from okay to good or good to great, which I truly want everybody to have great friendships someday, you have to have that evolving, that refining process. Nothing is just great right out the gate. It always takes work. Great things take work. Nothing comes easy in life. That's kind of a trend you'll see. So hope you guys like this B.O.B lesson. My ADD with a tree is on full display. Got a metaphor going here. I hope it makes sense. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're off and running on this week's B.O.B lesson titled Friendships Are Like Trees. But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be safe, let's be responsible, let's be respectful, and let's be a learner. All right, every morning as you guys come in, at least this quarter, myself, they're greeting students. It's one of the best parts of the day for me. I get to touch base with people, say hi, see how they're doing first thing in the morning. And it's also kind of an idle time for me where I kind of take in my surroundings and I look around, and recently thinking about some of the friendship stuff that's going on with kids and some of the conversations that I've been having with kids and hearing their confusion and struggle with some friendship things that are going on, I started staring at this tree and thinking about how this tree is kind of a metaphor for friendships as we get older and friendship groups, and how life can be kind of a winding, twisty road. And if you look at this tree from the base going up, represents getting older, and as you get up from the base, it branches off into lots of different branches. You've got some main branches. If you look, the first part is like 3 main branches that it branches off into. And if you think about when you guys are in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you slowly broke off into friendship groups, recognizing who is it that I like to spend my time with, who is it that I see is very much like me, we have the same things in common, so on and so forth. And if you follow these branches up, you'll notice that as time goes on, there's more and more divides in the branches, more and more decisions to be made. And so I took this picture and kind of put some color to it, and my fingers are kind of big on my phone doing this on Snapchat, so bear with me here. But the representation that I was trying to have is that if say your friendship is somewhere on the main branch coming up here on the left, where the purple and the blue and the red are, and maybe those 3 colors represent you and a few different friends or your friendship group, what you'll find with is in time you all may be on the same branch for a little while, but eventually people are going to branch off and go their own ways. You can see the one on the red branches off to the left and ends up going on a series of decisions that are made, 4, 5, 6 different friendship circle decisions that need to be made, and branches off from the blue. And maybe right now you are somewhere in the middle where all your friends are together, and now you're starting to have people branch off and start hanging out with different friendship circles or hanging out with different people, and you're red and you go left, and blue continues on and then branches off upward to the right. Purple branches off to the right, or another representation is over on this other side with the yellow and the purple, or the lighter purple in the green, and maybe green branched off earlier. So I hope this is for you visual learners. This is kind of a representation of what happens in life. And the cool thing about it is as you get older, your friendships become more refined, and you'll find that the closer you make it to the top, you're going to find that you're going to be surrounded by people that hopefully your friendships just get better and better. They're more true, they're more authentic. You have more in common. You share more of the same commonalities, values, interests, goals, so on and so forth. And this can be a good thing, but I know that it can be uncomfortable when your friends start hanging out with other people, or you want to start spending time with other people. And that's kind of what I wanted to hit on today, is that it is uncomfortable, but it is a natural part of getting older and moving from 6th to 7th to 8th grade to high school. If I think about my friendships now, I really don't even keep in touch with anybody on a regular basis from high school. All of my friends have evolved to people I've met in college, post-college, people that I referee with, people that are in education with me. I've met new friends since coming to HMS, and that is life. And as you get older, your friendships become more refined and they get better. All right, so a couple quick takeaways of what I just talked about. The takeaways are the messages I want you to leave this Bob lesson with today. First is friendships are constantly evolving. That can be for the better, that can be for the worst. As always with friendships, with any type of relationship, you have to constantly be putting effort, time, effort, and energy into it to keep it alive. It's like a campfire. You have to keep adding fuel to it or it's going to burn out. And sometimes we decide that we need to let some campfires burn out because people are going in a different direction than us, or we're going in a different direction than them. And that's what this evolution is all about. Second takeaway, your friendship circle will continually be added to, especially next year for you 8th graders, when you start to meet other kids from East Valley, Montana City, Clancy, that you view as being very much like yourself. You're going to add people to your friendship circle. Conversely, your friendship circle will continually be subtracted from. People in your friendship circle will decide, you know what, I'm becoming interested in other things, or I'm finding other people more like me that I want to spend time with, and that's okay as well. And ultimately is what's going to happen is your friendship circle will become refined, and that process, although uncomfortable, is a very good thing in the end. Third takeaway, treat your friends, and this can go for romantic relationships as well, in such a way that they feel free to come and go as they please. True friendship, true relationships are built on two people freely choosing to spend time together, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people, or however big your friendship circle is, freely choosing to spend time together. If somebody wants to go hang out with somebody else, you can't guilt trip them. Well, you can if you want, but it's not healthy. You shouldn't guilt trip them. You shouldn't make them feel bad. You should let them go. Let them come and go as they please. And through this process is where you're going to find that your friendship circle becomes authentic and true. All right, this week's quote of the week, and I know I used this last year on a Bob lesson, but it is so very true. This is what it's all about. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. Surround yourself with friends in a friendship circle of people that are like you, that have similar goals, values, interests, that are going to help you reach up and get your goals and not going to hold you back and get you to do things that are going to deter you from your goals. This is a pride of lions, and all those lions are on the same mission, probably going and finding dinner. But it's a metaphor, and so surround yourself with those on the same mission as you, and know that that process is constantly evolving. It's constantly becoming refined, and let people come and go freely as they choose. Don't try to control friendships, and don't try to control people. All right, this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners are Sean McKee, Noah Hensley, Savannah McKee, Camille Sertain, and Chloe Wilson. The answer to last week's Bob lesson was a bed. Jellybean question was a bed. All right, 7th graders, this week's Jellybean Question of the Week for you is, what color are you on that tree and why? Submit your answer to the Bob box no later than this Friday. Tune in after break to see if you're a winner. All right, let's make it a great last week of 2019.